G'day guys, what's going on? Super here. Today I'll be going over my round 17 trades. So Fisher is not playing this week, so what are we going to do about Zach Fisher? So there's a couple trade options we might do this week. How long is he going to be out for? Probably only just 1 week, I think. But, it does say test and there's no guarantee that he's going to come back next week. But we'll just wait and see what happens. So there's a possibility that we could just hold him. But if we are going for rank, we probably want to trade him out this week with the 6 trades that I've got. So I've got a fair few trades compared to other coaches. So I might as well trade him out. But we'll just wait and see what the best decision would be for our team. But firstly, I'll just go over what I'll probably do for the VC and C option this week. I'll probably just VC Ryan just because he's got that 197 last time, which was this year in round 8. So I'll put the VC on Luke Ryan just because, that's like probably the highest score of the year so far. So he hasn't been playing as good as the start of the year though, but it's still worth a risk to do the VC because the highest potential there. So we'll put the VC on Ryan and then just go into Gawn there. So for this to work, I'll probably have to put Livingston on the field if he does go off, and then I'll put the C on Livingston and the emergency on Nankervis because I'm not too sure. I don't think I can do the other loopholes. Nah, it really just depends on if Revel's going to be playing. I think he should be playing. We'll wait until 5 o'clock to see if he's playing or not because we might have to hold on to him as well. But yeah, there's a couple of different options this week. I could just field Day if I wanted to, but I probably don't want to do that. I don't think he's going to go too well, but he might because he is versus North Melbourne, so maybe a few goals for him. But it's a bit risky for me, I think, fielding him for a week if we're trying to climb in the ranks here. So the trade options that most people are going for this week are Humphreys, who seems to have like Stewart's role because Stewart's now playing in the midfield. So if you wanted to grab Humphreys, I'd probably just wait a week for him. But, if you have to do it this week, if you're doing like a downgrade, then you probably do it because he's got DPP status, probably won't get dropped out of the side either. Codwell is probably like the best option for Fisher. If you just want to straight swap him, that's probably like the only time that you'll be able to get Codwell in because he's got a pretty good run. I think that's like probably my favourable option here if I'm going to try and if I want to trade out Fisher, I might do this because he's got like MCG, Marvel, only 1 game away, and that's the last game of the year. Otherwise, we could do a little bit of a pod move and just try and keep Fisher and have like a backup. But for me, in my situation, I think I'll probably try and get Caldwell in. Otherwise, if you can afford Rankin, I'd probably do that as well. He's quite expensive though, but he's going to be a keeper. He's got a really high ceiling. Seems to be scoring better than like Dawson and Laird, so you'd probably go there. And he's got the goal kicking ability, so I'd probably grab Rankin. But in my situation, I could do that, but I think I'll just grab Caldwell just because of his fixture. Like he's playing, all these games except for one in Melbourne, so I think I'll do that. But then we'll have a quick look and see about what the fixture for Adelaide is because I haven't really looked into that too much. Like there's a few Adelaide games here, should be playing pretty good against all these sides as well. But yeah, I think I'll go with Codwell just because he's got the mid minutes, but there is a risk that Parrish is going to come back and take his spot in the midfield. Obviously, hopefully he can just play well, which he has been playing really well. So. And hold his spot in the midfield. Maybe him, Parrish, and Merritt going forward would be ideal for our team. But I think, we just got to take it. Now he's a pretty consistent scorer. Only had some bad games at the start of the year, but pretty consistent. Otherwise, what I could do is go for a cover pick here. I'd have to trade out Day and Revel, which probably isn't ideal in this situation because, they still can make a bit more cash for us and then we'd have like an extra trade as well if we just straight swap him. So But this could be another option here. The only annoying thing is, so grab Humphreys, we can't really swing him into defence is the only issue, but now I'm concerned about McGovern. He's played every game of the year and he's playing this week, which is a good sign, but hopefully he doesn't get rested later in the year, because I'll probably have to swing like Humphreys into defence at some point and then use another trade there, which is going to be a waste of a trade. But hopefully that's not the case. He's playing this week, so should be a good sign that he'll play out the remainder of the season as well. So I'm not too stressed about that anymore. And then they'll leave us with like about 450k. So who can we grab at this price? Can't get Curnow. Probably wouldn't get Curnow anyway. Jeremy Cameron could be an option. Harley Reid, I like that option as well. So we could grab Harley Reid if we want to. And he's got that 138 against Melbourne. No Petrarca this time. So could be an option. Could grab Reid. Oh, wait, not Cripps. We don't want him. Could grab Reid there and have him as like cover. So that could be a good option as well. Otherwise, I could go for like a Jeremy Cameron, but he's a key forward, so could have a big game this week against Hawks, and then he plays pretty decent against Collingwood. Bulldogs at Geelong, so, not a bad fixture coming up for him. He's got like North Melbourne, West Coast for the last game of the year, and a few home games there, so this is probably like my Geelong bias there, but I don't mind that as an option if you wanted to grab Jeremy Cameron as a cover pick, but if you're just straight swapping, probably not worth it. But he could go pretty huge for the last couple of rounds. Another guy that I'm looking at is actually Grind Myers. I can grab him if I wanted to. He's 408k, pretty cheap for him. He's like near the top. He's like a top 8 forward, I believe, so you could grab him. Got Hawthorn. I think he doesn't really play that great against Hawthorn. But yeah, he can go up to like 125 games there, so quite a good ceiling in him. But now the news, that I think like Myers is more consistent over Jez anyway, like in terms of getting a 90 plus score. But I probably won't do that because you'd probably rather have like a Caldwell or a who else, like a bloody what's his name, Harley Reid instead, because they've got higher ceilings and they've got actually midfield spots. But then I'd probably get Myers after those guys, but I'd only get Myers as like a cover pick and just like rotate him between Jackson and Fisher. Like if Fisher comes back, this is probably what I'll do, but I don't think I'll do this because I'm using 2 trades. But it really just depends on what you're going to be doing. So if you're going to be playing for league and most of the people in your league don't have Fisher, then I'd trade him out. Obviously, it's a pretty obvious shout there, and you'd just probably grab like Caldwell or like someone else, like a Rankin player, or even Reid if you wanted to. So yeah, they're probably the best 3 players, like Reid, Caldwell, and Rankin over like a Myers or a key forward type like Curnow or Jezza. But I would probably say that Caldwell's the best value pick at the moment. So I'll be doing it, trading Fisher to Caldwell. So I've pretty much got the top 6 forwards now. It's probably the right time to grab him as well. He's only a couple K more expensive than Fisher. So yeah, that's probably the right thing to do. Otherwise, and that leaves me like the option as well to bring in cover next week for my forward line if I wanted to do that and trade out Revel and like a day type next week and grab Myers. I'm just a bit unsure on Myers this week just because Sean Mannor's been named. So yeah, he's been named in the side, which we thought would happen after his big game in the VFL with 6 goals. So I'm kind of interested to see how he'll go this week because he's in the forward line. Obviously, does that like affect Grind Myers' role? Maybe a little bit, probably not. But yeah, I think it'll just be a wait and see. If I was going to grab Myers, I could just grab him next week. But yeah, Sean Mannor's another guy that you might want to downgrade to this week. He seems to, like he hasn't been playing the full games there. I think he played the full game in the Adelaide game, or maybe not. I think he was only sub, but he hasn't really had a chance to play full game. So he's got the scoring ability, I believe. He's a mature age player there as well. So you could grab him this week as well over like a Humphreys. But Humphreys seems to be pretty good. Got good job security in my opinion now. But yeah, I think this is what I'll do. Just grab Caldwell because, he's got a really favourable fixture. Even when Parrish comes back, still got all the home games. He's in good form. Not too bad of like a fixture coming up. I guess like the last 2 rounds might be concerning if you're in like a grand final or something, but should be able to like be a good pick, because, Essendon will be trying to make a spot in the finals, like in the top 8. So they should be pushing hard. So they'll have to play real hard ball to get in there. But I think they'll make the top 8, hopefully. But I think, he's been pretty good throughout the year, so I'll grab him. Pretty happy with the forward line now. And then like next week, if like it doesn't work out, we can bring in another forward next week, like a Myers type, or we just keep holding off from like Revel and Day until they go up to like 350 each, and then try and get another primo as cover, which is probably ideal, maybe in defence or something. But yeah, we'll put the VC on Luke Ryan. You could go Sarong as well, but I think I'll go Luke Ryan just because he's got that massive ceiling against Richmond. So I'll be interested to see how that goes, and then we'll just put C on Gawn. Otherwise, you could go like a VC on Merritt tonight, is it? Yeah, tonight's game. So I don't mind that as well. If you wanted to be a bit more risky, go the VC on Merritt. I'd probably go Merritt over Dacos, but Dacos is in like Brownlow form, to be fair. But I think, Essendon need the win, so that's why I'll bring in Caldwell as well, because they need to keep winning to stay in the finals hunt. So I think they will, and I think they'll both go well, Merritt and Caldwell, so might as well grab both of them. But yeah, that's basically it. And yeah, then in the future, I'll probably look to have cover for like Jackson, just because he's like the worst pick in the forward line in my team at the moment. So, I'll probably try and look to have cover for him. Can't really do cover for him. I could if like Day, I'll have the emergency on Day just to see how he goes. If he goes like 100, maybe consider that over a Jackson's score against Richmond. But I think he should be able to score like 100 at least this week against Richmond from Jackson. So it's just a wait and see. I think he'll most likely stay on my field. Probably unlikely that I'll take a Day score anyway. But yeah, that will give me options like for the next couple of weeks coming up where I can trade out Revel or like a Clark and someone else like a Day, and that would mean I could get like another cover player. So I think that's the shout. So we are giving away Fisher now. We could hold him and bring in Myers, but probably isn't the smartest thing to do with like Manor coming into the side, and these other guys are still making cash, so probably not the best idea. This is probably the most logical thing in my sense. But maybe if you are in your leagues and you've got enough money to get like a Caldwell as a cover player, maybe that's what you do and keep Fisher, because he does have the high ceiling. And then Fisher is probably going to turn into a player that not many people own anymore. So that could be a point of difference as well. But yeah, I think it's a perfect time to grab Caldwell. He's at the cheap price. He's got the low break even. And yeah, all the home games coming up. So I think he's like definitely a top 6 forward now. So hopefully he can stay in that form. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much the video for today, guys. But yeah, next week we'll have to wait and see how Rao goes, and Steele is another guy I've been looking at. So we might have to sideways those guys, but probably not a good idea to sideways. Maybe just grab a, M8, is it? No, M9, sorry. Or like a forward cover instead would probably be the way to go. But yeah, this is how I'll line up this week with 5 trades left over. So I'm pretty happy to do the swap for Caldwell from Fisher. But depending on how many trades you've got, you might want to try and get like a cover player instead, or you want to get it really depends on the situation if you're playing for leagues and stuff. and not many people in your leagues have, Fisher, then maybe you want to consider that. If you think you've got a better team than them, you might do that. But yeah, that's the video for today, guys. Let me know what you're going to do with Fisher in the comments down below and your captain VC options this week. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and see you guys later.